Hello. I've been looking at all the various YouTube channels, especially those that tell you not to buy an electric vehicle. And I've spent quite a few hours running through them. Now, I've owned a Tesla Model 3 now for 2 years and want to give you my honest opinion of some of the opinions of those people telling you not to buy an electric car on YouTube. Now, I'm numbering the objections 5 down to 1. So please hang around and see what you think. Hope you can like and subscribe, and please leave any comments below. The fifth reason not to buy an electric car is, according to some people on YouTube, you're never actually going to own it. So don't buy one. He compares EVs with Apple phones and subscription services like phones. Well, I own my phone. I just pay for the connection, and I certainly don't subscribe to my Tesla Model 3. You can lease a car or you can buy it outright. It's your choice. It's the only new car I've ever bought in my life. Final car. I wanted something a little bit special. Some YouTubers say, well, you never own it, it's all subscription. Well, that's really down to the manufacturer whether they offer that or not. You can have hire purchase, you can get a bank loan, you can pay it outright. There's many ways you can do it, and you have the choice. So I really don't think that is a very good reason not to buy an electric car. In fact, you could say that about any car, a gas car, petrol or diesel. The fourth reason not to buy an electric car, according to many, is that the national grid can't keep up. It's not true, because the national grid is growing all the time and adapting to the changes in demand. In the early hours of the morning, there's not much electricity being used, certainly not as much during the daytime. And of course, it's an ideal time to charge up a car. Some energy customers do give nighttime discounts, but currently some of them are charging more for your electricity during the day. Certainly more needs to be done with energy companies who can be greedy to encourage them to give better discounts during the early hours of the morning. Octopus used to, but then they bumped up the daytime price, so it wasn't really viable for me. If I was doing more miles during the day, I would have gone for their 7.5p a kilowatt, but then paid 40p daytime price, which is way too high. Now I'm paying about 30 for all my electricity use. So as more people buy EVs, the grid will actually grow a lot more. That's what it's all about. The national grid have a product that they have to supply. It's their business, and as more people want electricity, they will supply it. A lot more coming from wind, solar, wave and tidal. Very exciting. Gosh, there's so much energy up in that sky. The third reason not to buy an electric car is because charging at home and public charging electricity has gone up, and without offering any evidence or the price comparisons, but I regularly do the numbers, and home charging is always cheaper than the price of fuel. I estimate, for me, it's about a quarter the price. Now, Tesla supercharging is still cheaper than gas or petrol, and I've calculated it's half the price. And I've proved it on my earlier videos, and a lot of other people do the same. I've spent a lifetime being careful with money. I know the real cost of gas, petrol, diesel and EV charging. If you go to the more expensive public chargers, you could be paying 75p or more a kilowatt hour, and that's 50% dearer, more than many Teslas that are between 51 and 41p a kilowatt hour. Instavolt public charging is between 2 and 3 times the price of charging at home. Now, the second reason I found that you should not be buying an electric car is they are very expensive, and many YouTubers telling you not to buy one are driving the most expensive EVs. Some experts drive a very expensive top-of-the-range luxury car over twice the price of a Tesla, Hyundai, Volkswagen, Kia, Honda, Mini, etc., and often 3 times the price of an MG or a more economical car. Don't buy an EV, I hear repeated again and again from some people with big expensive EVs and big followings on YouTube. One YouTuber complains about the subscription based, and after 2 years he says his car, the manufacturer, puts up the cost of his subscription. Well, that's his manufacturer's problem. It's not an EV inherent problem. Various manufacturers do various things, and there's a lot of very cheap Chinese EVs heading the way to us. That's going to make some of the legacy automakers look a little bit stupid. Now, Tesla, you can pay £10 a month premium connectivity for Netflix and some other things, also the real-time road congestion, but it doesn't affect whether you have the software updates. You can have those for the rest of your life without paying any fees, and you can cancel them anytime you like. One YouTuber also said that a legacy car company tracked him wherever he went, the speed he went and where he parked, and that was a problem for his manufacturer, not for EVs. One YouTuber's followers in Australia and New Zealand said they're just not going to work. They can't drive all the way across the country. Well, I've had many followers from Australia and New Zealand. They left their cars and they're mostly driving Teslas, and they're not going back to gas. One YouTuber complains about how expensive EVs are, and yet buys one of the most expensive models that easily could have paid half or more less for a really good quality EV. Now, I've had people tell me with straight faces that Tesla can drive your car over a cliff if they want to. The unbelievable stupidity from some people, they believe that, and I really do wonder what newspapers they are buying. Crazy people. So the first reason not to buy an EV, according to many people on YouTube, not all but many, is range anxiety. Now, Teslas, we don't have that problem. All you have to do is look at this touchscreen and you see where you're going next. It's very simple. And if there's not a Tesla supercharger, there's someone else. But normally I always use the Tesla superchargers on a long trip. But most of my charging is done at home and it's not necessary. So let's say we want to go to Blackpool from Cornwall, and we'll put in Blackpool. In fact, you don't have to put the whole thing up, but it will go, it knows. And it's going to quickly calculate there are 2 stops, Bristol and Birmingham, where we can grab a coffee, go to the loo, and we won't be there that long. But let's say we also want to add a stop, and the stop we want is Mansfield. It will then calculate for us that where the stop's going to be, and it's actually, according to this, there's no need for another stop with that. But it can also show us, if we didn't want to go to those particular superchargers, just how many there are in this area. And they're not all superchargers in Instavolt, GridServe. So there's a lot in the area. Obviously, I always go to the superchargers. But even non-Tesla manufacturers have linked up with various public charging networks, so you can pretty much see where the next charging is going to be. One complaining YouTuber says he didn't want a Tesla, although their software is much superior. One YouTuber even said that one Tesla owner didn't adhere to something Tesla did not like and shut his car down, and he admits he has no idea if it's true or not. So always good to spread information that hasn't been double checked. Lots of YouTubers don't like the way that Teslas look. But then buying an EV twice the price of a Tesla is a bit like buying a golf bag 10 times the normal price and then putting a really cheap set of golf clubs in it. Doesn't really make sense, to me anyway, because the supercharging network is amazing without any delays at Tesla. When I look at the Tesla supercharging map, there are very few places in the UK 50 miles or more from a Tesla supercharger. There's not many on the west coast of Scotland, but then you've got Charge Place Scotland. I don't think there's many in Dorset and part of the west coast of Wales, but most places they're everywhere. You can't be often more than 50 miles away from a Tesla supercharger. Some YouTubers wanting to rubbish electric vehicles go to those public chargers that there's only two, and some of the oil companies put them in, especially knowing that it's going to be a problem in future. Two people are using the chargers and a lot of people are waiting. That adds to the confusion over EVs and is good news for the oil companies who really don't want you to go over to EV ownership. Now, I've driven Cornwall up to the top of Scotland, the Orkneys, top of Spain down to Portugal, using the EV network. There's no cards, you just drive up and plug in and go and have a coffee. It's just so simple, and having to go up to a screen and put in your card or download the app and all those things, I just don't want to do that. The Tesla way of doing things is just perfect. Sorry if that makes me a Tesla fan. Well, I am, because the car's so good and I'm 70. But many YouTubers go to a charger, they have to wait because it's being used, and then it takes a while to connect and then charge, and then they pace up and down. And many of them repeat, don't buy an electric car, this is what you have to do. But in the real world with Tesla, you don't do that. You plug in, you walk away, grab a coffee. I've never had to wait for a supercharger. I lie. Once in Scotland, over a year ago, waited for about 5 minutes on a busy Saturday afternoon. That was quite unusual. But Tesla superchargers put in a dozen, 16 superchargers at the time. Even the oldest ones, there was 4 or 8, which are now being replaced. But all I see is many of the BP oil companies putting in 1 or 2. Absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to make as much confusion and make charging as difficult as possible, keeping people waiting as long as possible. And don't forget that Tesla superchargers are open 24 hours a day. Garages, not all garages are. But there are many YouTubers saying, do not buy an electric car. This is their mantra, this is what they say. And they're driving a very, very expensive electric car. Anyway, what do you think? Was this helpful or not? Please leave your comments below. Don't forget to take your reusable mug wherever you go. And hope you can subscribe and like. And for future notifications, take care, bye.